Into our studio clocks, it's 6:30. You're welcome to the 6:30 Prime News on my Major Prime live from Studio A at Fengudrombange in Douala, the economic capital of the country. My name is Genda Peldrin Blanche King. Network of human rights defenders in Central Africa, REDAG, have joined other organizations and rights groups in and out of the country to call on a ceasefire in the restive regions of the country. The northwest and southwest regions of the country has been battling with a socio-political crisis for over 4 years now, with kidnaps, looting, and killings perpetrated by armed individuals. This call was made earlier today during a press conference presided over by the executive director of REDAG. Our reporter Audrey Zatsa was part of this press conference, which took place today here in Douala. She compiled the following report.
La violence a atteint des proportions inquiétantes. Le Rubicon est désormais franchi.
Quelques jours après le carnage des élèves survenu le 24 octobre dans la ville de Kumba, le réseau des défenseurs des droits humains, par la voix de sa directrice exécutive, Madame Maximilienne Gombe, portant elle aussi le deuil, vêtue en noir et rouge, ce jour dans sa déclaration s'indigne fermement contre ces massacres qui ciblent de plus en plus des femmes et des plus jeunes et appelle à un cessez-le-feu.
Mesdames et messieurs les journalistes, à cette triste et douloureuse tragédie, le réseau des défenseurs des droits humains en Afrique centrale s'indigne fermement contre ces massacres qui ciblent essentiellement et de plus en plus des femmes, des jeunes et moins jeunes, mais surtout des enfants. Ce d'autant plus que ces faits macabres nous rappellent tristement ceux naguère survenus à Magdémé et Doublé, dans l'extrême nord. L'on se souvient en effet de l'ignominie vécue il n'y a pas longtemps où 2 femmes portant leur bébé au dos à l'extrême nord, Garbour dans le nord-ouest, le massacre de Pigny à Santa dans la région du nord-ouest, ainsi que dans d'autres localités des régions du nord-ouest et du sud-ouest, de pauvres innocents, surtout des femmes, ont été lâchement assassinés. Réitère sa suggestion au gouvernement et aux autres belligérants d'accepter le cessez-le-feu comme l'a prescrit l'exhortation du secrétaire général des Nations Unies depuis le mois de mars 2020 de cette année, une exhortation allant dans le cadre des mesures de lutte contre la COVID-19.
La directrice exécutive fait également appel au gouvernement pour démasquer les mécènes de ces atrocités.
Par ailleurs, au gouvernement camerounais d'accepter enfin la mise sur pied et l'opérationnalisation d'une mission indépendante d'établissement des faits pour démasquer les commanditaires et les exécutants de cette tuerie qui s'accumulent et jettent le pauvre sur le Cameroun.
Pour le REDAG, cette crise qui sévit dans les régions du nord-ouest et du sud-ouest est politique et non militaire et devrait donc trouver une solution politique. Il continue donc de s'offusquer des sorties du MINAT qui, selon lui, devrait faire profil bas, ainsi que des accusations graves portées sur Maître Alice Nkom.
Tout aussi ignoble, déplorable, cette minable cabale orchestrée ces derniers temps par des officines gouvernementales portant de graves accusations sur Maître Alice Nkom, présenté comme une personne qui a reçu de l'argent pour acheter des armes pour les invasonniers. Le REDAG s'insurge sans vergogne contre de telles insanités contre sa co-PCA et se réserve le droit d'ester en justice les auteurs de telles arguties fallacieuses et ignominieuses.
La conférence s'est terminée, non sans rendre un dernier hommage aux jeunes victimes, avec un appel à l'action mondiale pour le Cameroun venant de 39 organisations.
Earlier today, a 3-story building structure collapsed in New Bell, Douala 2 municipality. The cause of the collapse is still unknown. Meantime, no deaths has been recorded so far. Details with Nora Kebi in the following report.
This Wednesday morning, 29th October 2020, in the economic capital of Cameroon, Douala, a 3-story building structure came down in ruins. The incident took place specifically in the Douala 2 municipality in the New Bell area, very close to the Douala Central Prison. According to this eyewitness account, he recounts that the people around this neighborhood woke up this morning only to discover a giant 3-story building structure beside them, which was still under construction, had collapsed. He added that in the wee hours of the night they heard a loud sound but was not sure exactly the direction where it was coming from. But fortunately, according to the eyewitness, there were no casualties. No lives were lost.
On s'est réveillé ce matin, nous avons constaté que la maison qui était en chantier à côté de chez nous s'est écoulée. Bon, aux environs de 6h30, puisque nous on dormait encore. On a juste entendu un bruit, puisque moi je vis derrière. Le temps d'arriver ici, j'ai trouvé que c'est la maison qui était à côté de chez nous qui s'est écoulée. Vous pouvez le constater. Heureusement qu'on n'a pas eu de pertes en vie humaine. On a eu juste 3 blessés, ma grande sœur et 2 voisins.
In the same light, this other eyewitness recounts his own side of the story of how he got the loud and strange sound in the night, and when he rushed towards the direction of the noise, he found the story building brought down completely in ruins. The exact cause as to why the building collapsed has not yet been established, but it is important to note that investigations are ongoing to ascertain the exact cause why the massive structure came down completely. The law enforcement officers were around the scene to witness the extent of the damage and to equally ensure the safety of all.
Some buildings under construction in New Bell in the Douala 2 municipality have been demolished by the elements of the Douala 2 Council. This follows the collapse of a building in New Bell earlier today. Gladys Bomotongina in the French language.
Créée depuis 1987 et ayant son siège au quartier New Bell, la commune d'arrondissement de Douala 2e, constituée de 16 quartiers tels que Aéroport, Babylone 1 et 2, Bonadouma et bien d'autres, étaient en pleine destruction d'un immeuble aujourd'hui dans l'exercice de leurs fonctions. En effet, ce bâtiment serait passible d'effondrement et avait déjà été marqué au préalable par l'insigne à démolir. Ceci avant l'implémentation réelle, observée en ce jour sous le regard stupéfait des populations qui disent ne pas comprendre de quoi il est question, mais néanmoins pensent que cela serait probablement pour leur protection et sécurité.
Oui, c'est détruire cet immeuble parce que vraiment, je ne sais pas pourquoi, mais je vois que peut-être ils n'ont pas fait une bonne fondation avant de monter, parce que c'est une vieille maison qu'on a ajouté ce qui est en haut. On avait été à démolir, donc bon. Ils sont en train de casser, c'est qu'on ne sait pas le pourquoi. Il n'y a aucun problème. Ils ont peur que demain que la maison va se couler. Bon, c'est là qu'ils ont entendu les vouloir aussi peut-être assurer la vie des populations. C'est là qu'ils ont eu à se lever ces 4 matins, se mettre à l'étude. Donc nous-mêmes on observe seulement.
Les actions de ce genre sont à espérer de plus en plus dans les jours à venir, encore qu'on parle d'un Cameroun émergent en horizon 2035.
Some women from the southwest region are equally calling on government authorities to engage in a genuine dialogue with the warring parties to ensure a return of peace in the 2 restive regions of the country. These demands were echoed by the women during a peaceful march in Boya recently in honor of the school children killed on Saturday, October 24 in Fiango, Kumba. These kids were brutally murdered by unidentified individuals while in their classrooms. Details in the following report with our Southwest correspondent, Crise.
Carrying placards bearing different messages, kids also joined their aggrieved mothers during this peaceful protest in Boya in honor of the school children killed in Kumba.
Stop killing women! Stop killing children! They are gifts from God. Stop killing children! Remember you were once a child before getting to that position of authority.
For 4 years counting, women in the northwest and southwest region have known nothing but constant sorrow and pain as they watch their children and husband being snatched by the cold hands of the armed conflict in the 2 English-speaking regions.
Our mothers, our children need freedom.
freedom is all what we demand. For them to go to school, to pursue their career as a future minister, or being governor, or entrepreneur. If we are killing the leaders of today, what about tomorrow? If you are saying that they should not go to school, what about their future?
From clear quarters, where prayers held, and in the presence of top administrative brass, these women later marched up to the Southwest Governor's office. Here, the women were granted audience by the Southwest Governor, Bernard Okalabilai.
After her intervention, you cannot say that you don't know the killers. So repeat after me. Who are the killers?
After listening to the women,
according to our Northwest correspondent, Member of Parliament for Menchum South constituency, Honorable Walang Richard Ebois, has rekindled hope to the people of Menchum Valley subdivision. He offered some didactic materials to the pupils and the students to ensure the effective start of the 2020-2021 school year academic year, and also encouraged those still in the bushes to drop down their arms and accompany governmental projects or development in the Menchum Valley subdivision. Charles Kibwa reports from Bamenda.
The people of Benakuma subdivision, Menchum Valley of the Northwest, have taken firm commitment to ensure their children go to school and to encourage those in the bushes drop their guns, get to farm, regain society, reform their economy and enhance the development of the subdivision. After the Musaka-Isili conflict that took a new twist with the ongoing socio-political crisis for close to 4 years, with fierce battle between security forces and separatist fighters, forcing many to flee Benakuma municipality, rendering life miserable.
We invite many stakeholders, not just the MP and the council, even individuals, civil society organizations, to come in so that they can learn their own support, so that our own children can acquire the right skills, right attitudes, right techniques, which can enable them to fit squarely into the society.
The Member of Parliament for Menchum South, Honorable Walang Richard Ebois, rekindled hope to the people of Menchum Valley, offered didactic materials to pupils and students, appealed to those still in the bushes to drop their guns and accompany government in the development of the municipality. The MP's visit to Benakuma, October 28, to ensure effective back to school, said his action is to ensure education remains their priority, given gun had never solved a problem, but through the pen there is power.
Not the gun. And this is high time for us to tell our children, or our parents, that say no. Say no to whatever can disturb their children, not to go to school.
Accompanied by the Mayor of Benakuma Council, Ehimbu Solomon Kudi, Honorable Walang Richard Ebois called on the people to use the power of Moses and ensure life return to the subdivision and children go to school.
And I want to ask them that they should use the power of Moses to make sure that they overcome whatever thing that they are facing. You know, for 4 years the children have not been going to school. And this is an area that at least it is a serious agricultural area that, I mean, I was not expecting the least that this crisis should hit. This crisis should go so far, because I know education is the life wire of every young man.
The MP was assured by traditional authorities after libations to cleanse the land, ensure Menchum Valley subdivision, being the food basket of Menchum division, regain life and productivity. The MP equally encouraged the education family and the military, assuring peace across the Menchum Valley subdivision.
Saturday, October 31 has been declared National Mourning Day in honor of the kids who lost their lives during the Saturday, October 24 massacre at the St. Francisca or Mother Francisca International Bilingual School, Fiango, Kumba. This announcement was made public recently in a communique signed by the President or the Head of State, His Excellency President Paul Biya. Details with Dalingande.
Following the tragic and gruesome murder of some school children on Saturday the 24th of October 2020 during an attack on the Mother Franciscan International Bilingual Academy in Kumba by some unidentified gunmen, Cameroon's head of state, President Paul Biya, has declared Saturday October 31 as a day of national mourning for the kids who were brutally murdered. But how have some Kumba denizens received the decision?
But I may say I'm not comfortable because whether they declaring the National Day of Mourning, those children will not come again.
President Fabia, I know is a man of God, is a Christian. I support to do that. And even any other person who believes in the law, support to do that. I'm happy that it's done that. It's declared that money day for this, the loss of these children.
According to the presidential decree recently signed, the national flag shall be flown at half-mast all day long throughout the national territory in memory of the 7 kids who were fired at the school complex. But on their part, these city dwellers say the decision hasn't met their expectations.
The day within for inside the week. The new campus about Saturday now already weekend. That means it shows it not even be important. For government, no government office going to go for Saturday.
Well, we've expected that the National Day of Mourning should be declared for the thousands of people that have died in southern Cameroon.
Meanwhile, according to others, the decision will, however, not bring back the dead to life.
Me as mommy, I don't grieve because when you see them today, that people when they don't die so they don't come back.
When it happened in Garbo, there was no action taken, and there was nothing to prove that something has happened in another place.
The tragic incident, which happened on Saturday, October 24th noontime, recounts that at least 12 gunmen had stormed the St. Francisca International Bilingual Academy with machetes and guns while opening fire on school children, killing at least 7, leaving about 13 of them injured. So far, the attack has received widespread condemnation, flooding in and out of the country, as well as the need for the crisis to be redressed as soon as possible.
Here on to over 6:30 Prime News on My Media Prime. Meantime, student journalists from the University of Boya have been admonished to be bearers of good journalism practice on the field. This call was made by Mr. Kum Lenat, guest speaker during the 2020-2021 General Orientation. Details with Crise in the following report.
With an exciting face to uncover what lies ahead, these are student journalists of the University of Boya gathered at Amphi 150E of the university. This general orientation for both current and outgoing JMC students was aimed at exposing these students to the realities of the journalism profession on the field. While delivering his academic discourse titled Control Your Space, the guest speaker, Mr. Kum Leonard, highlighted some challenges facing the everyday practicing journalists, such as economic hardship and the present Anglophone crisis. In the midst of such challenges, the guest speaker enjoined these student journalists to always practice responsible journalism, that is, by adhering to the canons of journalism such as fact-checking information before disseminating, among other values that they have been taught. Also, emphasis was laid on decency, discipline and consistency as a key to a successful journalism career.
A lot on controlling your world. The media landscape in Cameroon is very competitive. The media landscape in the world is very competitive. For you to be able to make it into a stand your mark and be different, you need to actually do things differently. You need to be very, very disciplined, and above all, you need to respect everything that is out here in the University of Boya, because some people may think that the training is not up to the standard, up to what is expected. But I will tell you that I am a product of this department, and today I've been able to handle different positions.
Taking place under the supervision of Dr. Kingsley Leonga, head of department and one-time veteran practicing journalist, he believes that the training of these student journalists is a positive contribution to nation building.
Puts us squarely in our leading role as a flagship program and department. You know, information is power. When there is a coup d'etat in the nation, where people go to is not the presidency, it's the media house. So we want to train people who are going to wield their power positively in society and not lead the society down the path of destruction.
The orientation also featured questions and answer session, during which the concerns raised by these student journalists in regards to the ethics of journalism were answered.
The West Regional Pedagogic Inspector for Economics at the Ministry of Secondary Education, Dr. Kifon Sunjo, has been declared dead. According to reports, he was murdered on Tuesday night and his corpse found on Wednesday morning at Ngwen. Sources confirmed Dr. Kifon was taken from home at about 7:30 on Tuesday, tied on a motorbike by his kidnappers. In an attempt to escape, he was shot dead. No group or individual has claimed responsibility for the killing. Meantime, investigations have been opened to track down the culprits. And in sports, the crisis rocking the Cameroon Professional League is far from ending, with new episodes emerging daily. 18 Elite 1 and 2 clubs in the country have today voted to dissolve the Cameroon Professional League of General Pierre Semenge with immediate effect. The decision was taken today during an extraordinary meeting of the Association of Elite Clubs of Cameroon in Yaoundé. This comes barely 2 days after the LFPC had a similar event and adopted the rules and regulations of the upcoming season, amongst other resolutions. The LFPC has, however, published fixtures of the upcoming season, with Coton Sport of Garoua expected to host Panther Sportif of the day this weekend. With this new twist, it is unclear whether the kickoff date will be respected. Still in sports, Cameroon's online sports news portable mysoccer24.com has presented via new signings to the public. The new team was presented during a ceremony which took place in Yaoundé recently. Details with sportsman Fabrice Keninga in the following sports package.
Cameroonian-based sports news website mysoccer24.com has secured the services of 3 fine Cameroonian writers. The new signings were presented to the public recently during a ceremony which took place at the website head office in Yaoundé. According to the chief executive officer of the sports website, the objective of beefing up his team is to carry the business to the next level.
Well, the objective is to become and remain #1 bilingual website as concerns information in sports, especially football. We are carrying football to another level. Cover football professionally online. We'll have the statistics of games, statistics of the championships, data of players.
To the newly recruited writers, it is an honor to serve with such a reputable website.
I'm elated to have joined the MySoccer24 team. It's been a long time coming. I needed a new challenge to move forward because I've been doing online writing for a while, and when the chance presented itself, I just had to fully give in the project MySoccer24 Cameroon has. It's in line with what I want to do.
These gentlemen and women can boast of a wealth of experience in the sporting industry and arguably are among the best in the land. Giovanni Wane contributed over 1,000 articles to sister website kick442.com. Same with Afesi Apong, who was recently appointed team press officer of current Elite 1 champions PWD Social Football Club of Bamenda. As for Frida Nora, she has been at the peak of the profession, covering the 2018 World Cup in Russia. Readers of the website have described their latest signings as a formidable and prolific team which can take Cameroon's professional football to an enviable level.
And this is it for Prime News on today's edition, or the Thursday edition of Prime News. On My Major Prime, the news was produced by Ewane Eli Nolinga, coordinated by Lasha Kingsley. My name is Genda Pelgin Blanche Kings. Thanks for choosing My Major Prime. Join us tomorrow, God willing, at 6:30 Cameroon time for another edition of Prime News on My Major Prime at 7 p.m. Cameroon time. Prime Hour will be live with Kim Leonard and his crack team of panelists to analyze issues affecting Africa, the world, and Cameroon. At 9:30, Fabrice Keninga will be here with Prime Sports to analyze issues in the sports world. Stay tuned to My Media Prime, the African Eye. God bless Cameroon. Good night. you.